How's it going, everyone? And welcome to channel update number 10 for Krydania. This is the April update. We skipped March because there really wasn't too much to update on, so I figured we'd do it every other month in this case. And we're going to be getting into, as usual, some Patreon shoutouts, how the current series are going, and stuff like that. I want to talk a little bit about the finances of the channel, and then also a little bit of what's next. So, without any further ado, as usual, I want to remind everybody that Patreon is the best way to support the channel in terms of how much money you're spending versus how much money I'm getting. The ratio is the best there. And then obviously, just engaging with the channel in any other way is a great way to support it as well. But financially, it's the best way. And huge thanks to Hematin, Kobladix, Lag Idiot, Dan Bopes, Judd4S, Blue Wilson, Putinator, Simon, and the Sixth Rock for supporting the channel. Thank you very much for becoming patrons, and I just can't thank the whole host of Patreons enough, and everybody who does Twitch subs, and everybody who just watches the YouTube videos. I mean, all of that put together it's been really helpful. So thank you all for that. Very much appreciated. So first, I want to get into a little bit of a pYanodon's report, because that's obviously been the main series on the channel these days, and I think it's been the best series yet. Season 3 is going really strong, and we've been doing almost daily episodes now for many weeks. There have been a few weekends where I haven't done like a Sunday or Saturday one, but it's been pretty consistent, and I've been really happy with that kind of output on the work end of things. And it's just been really fun. I've been having a blast with it, and I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. And we had a fun stream for the 100-hour celebration, and I'm excited to do another one for the 200-hour celebration, which is going to be here before we know it. So yeah, I've really, really been enjoying pYanodons. And one of my favorite parts has been how many people have stopped by and told me that they've started their own pYanodons run because of mostly the approach that I've been taking to pYanodons, which has been more of that Zen garden idea that Not Melon talked about in the podcast, which is just a much more laid back approach. It's not all about the end goal, it's about the journey. And if you enjoy the journey, a 1,500-hour mod pack isn't as scary, because you don't need to think about the 1,500 hours. You're just thinking about, here's what I get to do next. And that part's fun. And it just allows you to relax. And I think it's really been working for the videos, and it's been working for a lot of other people too. So that's really awesome, and I'm happy about that. As far as the stream versus pre-recorded piece, at first I was hesitant to make the switch, and I've actually loved it. I think streaming is really great, and I'm not done streaming, in general. It's not like I'm just going to be off Twitch for years now, but I do think there's something to this particular series and my particular season of life right now that the pre-recorded episodes are working really well for me. And I've got a really good rhythm going, and it feels nice. And so for now, that's going to continue. I will do special streams from time to time, or I will maybe stream some other games. I'll get to that a little bit more later. But at least for the pYanodons set of gameplay, that's going to be pre-recorded for now, at least. So on to the Kerbal Space Program. That also went really well. I was quite surprised, honestly, at the viewership that got, and I was really encouraged by it, because previously I've tried a couple Kerbal Space Program things and it hasn't gone super well, and so I was curious, like, is anybody going to view this? It probably wouldn't have gone past 5 or 10 episodes if it hadn't gotten any viewers, but it did. And so I thought I'd stick with it for a bit longer, because I was having a ton of fun too. So we're, well past 30 episodes now, and like I said, I wasn't even sure if it would get to 10. And that's been really fun, because I love Kerbal Space Program, and what RP1 adds to the game has also been really cool to experience. And so I will say that even though, if you've been following the series, you know that it's kind of coming towards a close, it's not going to be my last time playing RP1. Given the interest that I had in this series, I know there's interest in another one at some point in the future, and I know I'll be interested in playing through RP1 again at some point in the future. So you can expect that to happen, not like in a few months. It'll probably be more like in a year or two type of time frame, but I definitely will revisit RP1, and it's been really cool. I mean, there's so much I didn't even get to try, and it's just such a huge mod, and it's really fun. So anyway, I was really pleased with that, and that's been a really good series. It will probably be done somewhere in the next 2 to 4 episodes, I would guess. So just so you guys know where that's at. And then a new series that some of you weren't expecting. In fact, most of you probably weren't expecting, because I wasn't expecting it. After playing Nubby's Number Factory, which is very fun, I do recommend it. It's kind of in the Balatro world. I was like, I want for whatever reason, it fired off the same neurons of like randomness and kind of chance and getting a build together that Backpack Battles got for me, which is kind of like an auto battler, inventory management. You do compete against other players, but it's asynchronous, so it doesn't really feel like multiplayer to me, even though it technically is. So it doesn't stress me out like a lot of multiplayer games or competitive games often do. And so I really, really was enjoying Backpack Battles, and I was like, okay, I need to do a series on this. I had done a few videos way back in the past that actually kind of exploded and did fairly well for their time, and I was like, okay, let's try a series on this. So I've kind of been wanting to get back into something like that. I've considered Magic the Gathering, but the problem with that is that game stresses me out a little bit too much. The actual competitive nature of it and the fact that you're playing against another human constantly, like that part stresses me out to the point where I don't know if I could maintain like daily Magic the Gathering videos for a certain amount of time, even though there's a part of me that would really like to. I don't know if that would work for me. So someday I might try out some MTG stuff, but it would be a trial run because I just don't know if I could stick with it for a long time. But something like Backpack Battles is far more kind of palatable and bite-sized for me. And so having this idea where there's kind of like a today in Backpack Battles episode, rather than something like Pi, where it's always about progress and you have to kind of start the series at the beginning and follow through the whole thing. Something like Backpack Battles is nice because it allows anybody to enter the series whenever, because it's not like today's video is going to be any different than yesterday's video. I mean, more or less, like they're different videos, but it's not, you guys get what I'm saying. It's not like you have to start at episode 1 to understand what I'm doing, right? It's just, we're playing a match of Backpack Battles every day until we hit diamond with all the characters. And so that's a really fun kind of daily thing. And I've also been encouraged by the popularity of it. So that's going to keep going at least until we hit diamond with everybody. And if the series is still going strong by then, I'll probably try to get to masters with one of the characters, because I've been really having a lot of fun with Backpack Battles as well. So if you don't know what the game is, I highly recommend checking it out. I'm not into the auto battler genre at all. This is the first one I think I've ever even played, but I really got sucked into it when I played it. And there's even a demo, so go check out the demo if you're curious. But yeah, I want to switch to talking a little bit about the financials of the channel, because in these channel updates, it is a little bit more about, talking about the meta of the channel. Like, how's my life going? How's the channel's life going? It's not, you get to hear me talk about the games we're playing when we're playing those games. So really, I want to talk a little bit about how is the channel surviving? We made the switch to full-time. Gosh, how many months ago was it now? Was it 6 months ago? Time is just disappearing. I didn't put a slide or a whole page in the thing about my personal life update because that's still in a pretty similar place. Things are hard. They're not great. They're okay. I'm surviving, and that's still kind of where things are at. But that just makes time fly by even faster. So anyway, all that to say, I've been full-time for a while, and it has resulted in the channel making more money. There's been more Patreon supporters. I mean, you guys saw a pretty big list of names of people who have joined in the last 2 months. And because of higher YouTube viewership, that's led to more ad revenue. And Twitch income has gone down a little bit, obviously, because I'm not streaming the main series anymore, which was pYanodon's. But at some point, I might make the switch back. But I think the increased Patreon and YouTube revenue has more than made up for the lost Twitch revenue. So I think overall, like, I'm still totaling a bit more than I've ever made. That being said, more than a small amount is still a small amount. Like it's not enough to live off of. So there may come a time, and I don't know exactly when that would be because there's a lot of variables in life right now, but there may come a time where I just can't do this as my main work anymore. And that would just be because of financial reasons. So I would love for this to continue to grow and take off a bit more so that isn't something. I would hate to have to stop doing this as my main thing because of money alone, but that very well might be the case. You guys understand that's just how life works. But I love content creation, and please know that even if I were to need to go get a normal job, where I'm not able to produce as much content, I would still very much want to keep the channel going. I have no interest in Krydania disappearing. I'm not burnt out. on the channel, even if I get burnt out on certain games. I love content creation. I love the community. So I do not want this to stop. And regardless of what I do for like full-time work-wise, the channel's not going anywhere. So you can rest assured in that. I'm not going anywhere with this. So keep hanging out in Krydania. You guys have been great. It's been so fun to see how the channel has just brought a bunch of awesome people together. And like, I think I've said this in almost all my channel updates, but for me at least, this is about so much more than gaming. Even though 90% or more of what we talk about is gaming, the people that have ended up, especially in the Discord, I feel like that's where the lifeblood of the channel is. If you guys aren't on the Discord, I highly recommend joining it. There's just a lot of fun people there, a lot of really great, nice people that want to have interesting conversations. There's a channel to have serious conversations where sometimes that can be really cool, talking about actual real life and what's going on in the world and stuff like that. But even just talking about games and having interesting conversations with people about that, or, you know, sharing pictures of cats or whatever it is, I feel like it really is a friendship community. Like, people are friends there. And obviously it's different than real life friends, but it's still real. And I very much enjoy the community that Krydania has become. And I didn't make it, right? All the people there are what makes that community the community. Obviously, I'm one of those people. I'd like to think that I participate and help, you know, be one of those friendly faces, but so does everybody else. And so it's really just been a cool, like, I kind of feel lucky to have a community that's that great, because not every streamer does. Some streamers have to constantly be banning people or dealing with bad actors and stuff like that. So I've been pretty lucky up to now to not have to deal with a lot of that. And pretty much everybody that shows up is just the kind of person I want there anyway. And I think everybody else wants there, and it just makes for a really fun community. So thank you, the viewer and the participator or the lurker, whatever you are. Thank you for being around. Thank you for, you know, just being a part of the channel. And I would recommend joining the Discord, because that's where a lot of the fun stuff happens. YouTube comments are great, and, you know, Twitch chat is great, but really the Discord is the lifeblood of kind of what I consider Krydania to be. So head over there if you're interested. I know some people don't love Discord. I get that, but if you're interested, come hang out. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, what's next for the channel? So obviously more pYanodons and backpack battles. We're going to be continuing those series. No plans on stopping that. The backpack battles, I did kind of commit to daily, which I'm hoping I can live up to. They are shorter videos, but I have to edit each one, so the actual amount of time I put into each video is still pretty similar to a pYanodons episode, because I edit the intro, and that takes longer than I thought it would. For a 10-second intro, I end up, you know, spending well over 10 minutes of real life time loading it up in DaVinci Resolve, cutting out the pieces, doing the zooms, you know, like, you just have to manually set it up, and that's work. So anyway, we'll hopefully be able to keep to a daily release schedule with that. And pYanodons as well, I'm trying for daily. If there are days that I have to skip, they're always going to be on the weekend, so you can have your weekday pYanodons. I am pretty confident that we'll be able to have 5 a week, you know, minimum on that moving forwards. As far as other games, I'm not really sure, because there's nothing that's on the immediate radar. Like, I want to play it right now. I'm excited to start a series for it. There are a couple other games, like Warside is coming out in like a week or two, and that's an Advanced Wars style game. I mean, it's very Advanced Wars style. The art style looks not copied, but kind of like I made my own version of Advanced Wars type of copied. And so, and the gameplay obviously looks really similar. So if that game ends up being a good version of that style, that genre, I will definitely play it. Will I play it on stream? I'm not sure, or on video. That's still up for debate, but I am interested in playing that game, so that could be a game I play. Another couple things that are kind of on the back burner, depending on when they release, is Annihilate the Spans did pretty well on the channel. And when the Krydax campaign releases with all of the missions having a hard difficulty, or trauma is what it's called, I will probably do another series of Annihilate the Spans working through the campaign on trauma difficulty, because I did play through the Shallows campaign, which is like the 8-mission tutorial campaign, or 9 now. I played through that on trauma difficulty, and that was actually really fun, because it kind of becomes a bit more of a puzzle. Whereas the game is already really fun, but when you play on trauma, it's like meant to be difficult, and you have to figure out what strategy can I use to beat this mission. And for whatever reason, I really liked that flow of like, even though you lose a lot of times over and over again, you're experimenting with different combinations of units or different build orders. And I found that enjoyable because the outcome was somewhat predictable, because you're getting the same opponent every time. You're getting to experiment with the different ways to beat it. So all that to say, when that campaign has all the missions released on trauma difficulty, I'll probably do a series on that. I don't know when that will be. And then another game that you haven't seen me talk about in a while is Songs of Six. Or Sykes, I think it's 6. But anyway, that game is getting closer to a 1.0 release. And it is, in my opinion, one of the best city builders I've ever played. And it has gotten so much added to it and polished since I played it last. It probably won't even feel like the same game anymore. I've been following the development over, I think it's been a couple years since I played it, and it's all been good stuff and all been good news. And the game has insanely great reviews for a good reason. And if you're into city builders and kind of like population management, it's very much more on the like you end up with hundreds and hundreds of people, not just like 10 people like RimWorld kind of thing. So it's kind of like in the Banished world, but even then it's not quite a Banished alike. And it's got a really cool art style, and it's got a lot of really cool mechanics of like trading with other settlements, and there's battles, which I never even got into. I don't even know if battles existed when I played it last. So I'm really excited to revisit that game in probably a fairly long series. But I'm waiting for the 1.0 release. And I don't know if that's going to be like in a month or two, or it could still be 9 months away. It's been teased that it's not that far in the future. Like the developer said that it was an update that was a few months ago now. He was like, this is the last big update I'm going to do before the 1.0 release. So based on the various things I've read, and I've gone looking for some, I feel like it's going to be in the near-ish future. Like it will probably be this year, probably this summer, but it could be, you know, in December or later. I don't know for sure. Anyway, I'm really excited about that one. And if you have games that you think would fit well on this channel and the viewer base that we have, or not, if you just have games that you'd like to see me play, let me know what those are. I like a wide variety of games. There's certainly some that I don't, but there's a lot that I do, and there's a lot that I've tried and found out I like it more than I thought I would. So definitely let me know what you think in the comments about what games we should play here on the channel, whether it's for a YouTube recording or stream. I didn't even mention it. I don't know why I didn't list this in my bullet points. Path of Exile 2. I'm excited to probably stream that one again rather than make YouTube videos of it. Potentially some point during this Dawn of the Hunt season. I need a little bit, I need to get ahead on the pYanodons and backpack battles a little bit before I can have time for some streaming. But I really did enjoy my last time with Path of Exile 2, and I'm strongly considering doing another like streaming kind of character from level 1 session of that. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. There's a lot of games out there. So, and with that, that's pretty much all I have. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of the channel, whether you're viewing, lurking, commenting, not commenting, joining the Discord, not joining the Discord, supporting me on Patreon, not supporting me on Patreon. It's just thank you to all of you. You guys are great. I can't say thank you enough, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for the channel and what games we get to play as we continue on. But as always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.